dude.
Hey everybody, welcome to Back Issues of Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Let's talk about One Bad Day. So, Riddler is a complicated character because, and we've talked about this so many times, the idea that like Riddler is too smart for his own good, and that's why there's so few Riddler stories. Like, he's a genius, but writers aren't.
Right.
So what do you do?
How do you write a genius if you're not one?
Right, and so
You like make shit up.
what do? You make up stuff. Thankfully, Riddler has a motif, which is riddles. And so all you gotta do is just look them up and then just grab some of the most esoteric ones and then cram them into some kind of crime theme, and you're good to go.
Is it the origin from Batman Forever? Because that's the only one I know.
No.
Okay.
No, the Batman Forever origin is made up of whole cloth. It is a completely new origin.
I mean, it's good.
It's fine.
It's not bad.
It works for the movie, and it
Yeah.
works for that character that Jim Carrey does.
Yeah.
Which is not the Riddler.
It's not the Riddler in
That's
any
its own
way,
thing.
but he doesn't look like the Riddler.
Yeah, because criminals don't usually have any kind of reason
Motive
why
or
they do
anything.
what they do.
Well, all the Batman ones are insane. So they don't
Yeah, I
need
guess
them.
he's just crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but how does that help you with crime? You still have to be good at crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
something
no, it's
he
just
does
I-
while he's doing crime.
Yeah, it's a motif as opposed to a method. And it wasn't until they were tasked with the job of making this book that they even bothered to wonder about Edward Nash and Enigma's whole origin and the reimagining, and how, who cares what his origin is? Most people know him from Batman Forever anyway. Just like everyone thinks that Spider-Man's alien symbiote costume made him aggressive
Right.
and gave him augmented strength, and that's only from the 90s cartoon show, which has permeated the zeitgeist such that people in the comic books are just making that assumption.
Right, because the people writing those books didn't actually.
Didn't read
necessarily
them.
read
They
the
were
original.
raised on the cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the suit can make somebody else super strong.
It eventually did because of how powerful that cartoon show was, but originally it just puppeted him around when he was asleep.
Right.
And it made his
Well,
own...
but eventually it made Eddie Brock. Well, I guess it didn't.
No. In fact, there's a line that Eddie says in his origin where he says, "You may not get your power from muscle, but I sure do."
Yeah.
Now, that being said, Eddie Brock Venom could lift a car.
Which
No human,
Human
can
can't
do.
do.
Outside
I mean,
of like old
yeah,
wives'
a
tales about
tragic mother.
adrenaline. Yeah.
My baby!
My baby, I gotta lift the car. I've yet to see that. I would love to. I mean, I don't want the child in
Oh,
peril,
sure.
But I
we'll
would
just
love
toss some babies in the traffic. We'll see what happens.
I'm not Ozymandias. I'm not like gonna arrange a situation where I can see this happen. But I digress.
No, I was talking about I did it 5 minutes ago.
I like the idea that that's just his line.
Yeah.
He just uses
I did it 5
like,
minutes
all the
ago.
time.
All right, that up 1097. I paid you 5 minutes ago.
No, you didn't. Give me my goddamn money.
He's already out the door.
Hey, do you want to get lunch? I ate 5 minutes ago.
Damn it! That's really inconsiderate because you made plans with me.
So, can you give me a little background on this book? Is this continuity? Is this out
Oh
of continuity? What is
boy,
this?
there's no effing way this is continuity.
Okay.
This isn't Black Label, is it?
No, it is not Black Label. It's a new thing.
Just its own thing.
A new thing
What?
that they did a whole bunch of and then never again. So in 2022, DC was asking Tom King and Mitch Gerrits, they were like, hey, Killing Joke, that's a really big book for us. Could you do it again, but with like Riddler? And I'm like, what an audacious and insane thing to say. That's what you say behind closed doors. You don't admit that that's the
you
pitch.
said that, yeah.
But they did.
Here's
And
the
they
thing.
said it in every interview, including ones with me.
But that's how, like, I get people to buy the book.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I sell it before it actually comes out. Be like, it's like Killing Joke, but with the Riddler?
I mean,
But
yeah.
I like Killing Joke.
That's why it's called One Bad Day, which King specifically said, don't call it that.
That's horrible.
Literally said, no, there's a terrible title. Don't use that. They were like, not only are we going to use it, but it's the name of the initiative now. So Clayface,
my
One Bad Day.
God.
Penguin,
No.
One Bad Day.
No.
Catwoman, One Bad Day. Mr. Freeze, One Bad Day.
Why don't they
They're
just
all getting
call
One Bad Days.
the initiative Killing Joke, but with?
Because it's not an improv troupe.
But that's what you're
that's what
doing,
they're doing,
when
yeah.
you call it
One Bad Day. I know.
No, a lot of these characters didn't have just one bad day.
No. Every
they're all
character is the
going to.
Joker, though.
We're
Like-
gonna make them have had one bad day.
That's the thing.
To
But
now explain.
and
it.
they do, and like, but the whole point of the One Bad Day line in Killing Joke is that Joker had one, and that's what
And that's
resulted
why
in the
he's
Joker.
Joker.
And that's also why he's doing this to Jim Gordon, which, by the way, doesn't work. So it
Right.
only works on Joker. So why would it work on Penguin? He
Right.
looks like that.
One
That's
bad
not
day.
A thing he chose to
It
be.
was the day I was born.
Yeah, one bad day, which was
It's
my
a bad day
birthday.
for the world. It was when I was born,
Yeah.
and I was inevitably going to become this.
Right. But like,
I guess they all have the problem that
Yes.
Joker had, which is that it doesn't take very much to push them
no.
ultimately into
Yeah,
a
they
life
are
of
very
crime.
susceptible to being criminals. Killing Joke the Riddler, which again is creatively bankrupt and a horrible pitch, and I loathe it. That said, I remember reading this and I was like, yes. Also, there's a lot of reasons why I do like this, even though they did it weird. Like, here's how it came out. Came out as a prestige-bound OGN, more or less. It's not really an OGN, but it's just a done-in-one, but a little more special. Like they did in the 90s and 2000s when they were doing it all the time.
Yeah,
And these
that's
things were
sweet.
great. Just one story, prestige-bound, a little more expensive, a little higher quality,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
got something really special. And you could then mine it forever. You could make a hardcover out of it, like DC did.
Yep.
A hardcover of this prestige-bound book. I'm like, but you already did it.
Now it's harder to read.
Congratulations. $8, $18.
Oh my
$10
God.
for more cardboard. Thanks.
That's friggin' highway robbery.
Isn't it?
That's garbage. And it's not even like the book is bigger.
No,
Nope.
it's the exact same size.
Wow.
I was like, hey, listen, Riddler is one of the top. I mean, King and company believe that Riddler's like a B-tier Batman villain.
Yeah, he is.
I don't. I think the Riddler is.
F tier.
I mean, he becomes F tier because you can't do anything with him, like because it's so hard. And this book doesn't disprove that theory, by the way. Like, why don't we just not do that? Like, literally, everything that makes the Riddler special and interesting and fun, let's not do that in this book, the definitive Riddler story, and then end it the way we do. But I do believe that Riddler is, like, up on the top. Now, if you put the rogues gallery together, Riddler isn't too far from Joker. I
They're
think.
very intelligent.
There's a like threat.
Yeah, they're a threat. They're green themed. They are humor based. I mean, like, you could see the comparisons and similarities.
Yeah.
I could get why DC would jump to Riddler, but I think Riddler is a fun, interesting character that also plays to a different element of Batman's sensibilities. You know, everyone thinks, oh, it's Joker, Two-Face, and then like Riddler somewhere in the bottom. And I'm like, Two-Face sucks.
What?
It's hard to do a Two-Face story as well. Everything's either double themed, or you
Yes.
gotta play to the whole, oh, but Harvey, you poor bastard, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry that half your face is ruined. After a while, it's his fault. Get over it.
He's interesting because of his backstory, not because
Of anything
you
he
can
does
do
as
anything with him.
Two-Face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never read a Two-Face story I like. That said, again, the animated series, every Two-Face episode I've seen I like.
Yeah.
But every Riddler episode, I like more. That being said, there are very few Riddler episodes.
Yeah, it's like, what, 3?
Yes, but they're all bangers.
He's also great in Arkham City.
Yes, he's fantastic in Arkham City. He's fantastically vexing. I want to throttle him.
But that's also because he's not actually a villain in Arkham City.
Well,
He is.
He
You
is at
just
the
have to
end.
find
You gotta
his
find all his
trophies.
crap. Yeah, it's true.
But then you fight him.
Then you punch him in the face and it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, no, you just get to where he is and it's like,
Well, yeah.
there's no fight.
No.
I'm there and I punch him and it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, well, he's frail, you see. You could also imagine that in 2022 they were like, hey, can you guys get Riddler working? Because he's the main villain in our new Batman movie.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why One Bad Day even started, much less exists. There are a couple of other good One Bad Days in the One Bad Day initiative.
The One Bad Day-averse.
They do not take place in the same universe. They each probably take place within their own universe, unless particular writers like Mariko Tamaki are like, and also that happened in whatever run I'm working on. Also, artist Mitch Gerrard's like really wanted to do this, always wanted to do like a definitive Batman Riddler story.
Okay.
And so they did. And so he went for broke. So like, this is some of the best Mitch Gerrard's art you'll see.
Okay.
He's just really going for it. If you see an homage or a reference, it's there. Yes. Just if you have a question where it's like, hey, this kind of looks like, yeah. It's deliberate.
Are there little doll baby things that
No.
plague us?
There's no circus sequence. No one says, I had one bad day. Though, Riddler did have a bad day, which resulted in him being the Riddler. Though I would argue that bad day encompassed the majority of his adolescence. It's less about having one particular instance, though it is one inciting incident, which I'm sure you could play with as a concept of One Bad Day.
Right.
What is this? Well, it opens with this dude. He's a family man. He's at work. He's on the phone with his wife. His wife is talking about how their daughter doesn't want to go to soccer practice because she hates it. And he's like trying to finesse them into strong-arming her into going anyway because she's good at it. And I want her to keep at it because she will find value in it if she just gives it a chance. And there's a line later from the daughter via her mother that undercuts her father's good intentions. But that being said, I understand everyone's opinion in this instance, where I've been the daughter in that scenario, where I've been part of a team and I've never wanted to do it and I hate doing it, and my parents are like, you're going anyway. I also understand the motivation of like, you're 11, what the hell do you know anyway?
Yeah, you'll thank me later.
Yeah, that kind of concept. Or at the very least, like, I'm at work, your mom's alone with you, like you need to go somewhere.
Right.
You know? But the dad is like, I'm leaving right now, and normally I take the train, but I'm going to call an Uber and I'll get there sooner so that I can intercept you guys at home and I can explain to our kid why I think it's so important that she goes. So he's been on the phone the entire time, shutting down his computer at work, going through the elevator, saying goodbye to another employee, getting onto the street corner, and he is texting his wife and she's like, hey, she's going. You know, she's going to be going anyway. And he's like, all right, goes black. 4 panels of darkness. Then we see the surveillance video of that moment where the guy's on the phone, he's out on the corner, Riddler enters frame, walks up behind him, boom, just shoots him in the back of the head.
Oh shit.
Then walks right up to the surveillance camera and holds up a card with Batman's logo on it.
You're not Batman. Batman didn't do this.
No, man, I want to talk to Batman.
Well, you'll see. So now Riddler's in custody. He just gave himself up. Killed this random guy. No riddle, no puzzle, just bam. All right, I'm ready.
That's the puzzle. Why would I do that and then turn myself in?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So he's chatting with Gordon. He's like, hey, where's Batman? And Gordon's like, oh, he's not coming. He said, Edward's not worth my time.
This is not early days Riddler. This is established
This
Riddler.
is long-standing Riddler. This is a Riddler who's done it all because King loves Golden Age. So, like, he had giant typewriters. He had elaborate metallic puzzles that could also drop from the sky, wrap around Robin on its own, and then have to be reconfigured so that it wouldn't be around Robin. Like, you know, all kinds of elaborate traps that Riddler would be responsible for. He's worn the head-to-toe leotard, but now he's dressed like a regular person with this kind of like eye makeup as a mask. He's not wearing the domino mask anymore.
Domino masks are out. I'm
doing
a
a new
modernize.
thing. Yeah, I gotta get with the times. I'm not
my
cutting my face.
My publicist told me
Yeah.
that the domino mask was passe.
Exactly.
I heard Lady Gaga likes this look.
Yeah. I want to impress her.
I'm a fan of the smoky eye. This is more of a heroin eye, though.
Yeah, that's true. So Gordon is, just talking to Enigma. Enigma's not interested in interacting with him. And finally he goes, where do you think Joker got the idea to, like, go to your house? How did he know where you lived? You know?
Referencing
The Killing Joke.
the Killing Joke.
Right.
Maybe one day Joker calls me up, because we talk to each other, and he says, hey, Eddie, I've got this idea, like, that I want to go for.
It's not quite there.
It's not quite there. It's not fully formed, but, like, I want Gordon involved. And so maybe in exchange for a couple favors, I told him where you lived. And I enabled him to get past your security. And maybe the worst day of your life is my fault. Like, maybe I did that. And Gordon's like,
All right, so we're tying Edward into
the killing joke, which also I'm like, don't do that.
Is that what the imprint is, or the initiative
No, they're not
is?
all involved in the
Okay.
killing joke. This is just more like, I want to believe this is also made kind of in a vacuum where we're like, we're doing this story for Riddler. It's a tie-in for the movie, more or less. And then they went, oh my God, that's sold like hotcakes. Clayface, One Bad Day. And they did that. And it's actually not bad, but it's also very Hollywood. So Gordon throttles Enigma, obviously, because he's still kind of sore about the whole experience of being stripped naked and tortured by circus freaks and having his daughter paralyzed in front of him and all that. But,
Yeah.
anyway,
Understandably so.
so Enigma like eggs him on by reminding him of Batman Year One, where it's like, hey, remember when you cheated on your pregnant wife with Detective Essen, and how you had to get her transferred? Like, you destroyed her life because you like couldn't keep it in your pants. Like, you're a pathetic old man. And anyway, bye. So Gordon leaves. And we go back. Let's go back. What made Enigma like this? And so we go to this school for boys. It's a very affluent, high-end boys' school. It has a rigid, terrible headmaster in the form of...
Red from that 70s show.
What? Or the father in Dead Poet Society. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But instead of being... I don't know what he was in Dead Poet Society besides his dad, but in any case...
Oh my God, that totally is red.
Right? That is Dana Tierney, Edward's father, who runs the school.
Oh, oof.
Also, we're retconning in this universe that this book takes place in that the original name of Edward Nygma / Eddie Nash is Edward Tierney. Just here, how about this? Okay, we're going for it. Knock yourself out.
Okay.
So, Headmaster Tierney is admonishing his son because of the grades he got. But his son is like, no, look, I'm in English. I got like a 92. It's an A. Professor Yellen says that's a good grade. And he's like, oh, I mean, like, if you want to settle for mediocrity, congratulations. Like,
Just an A.
yeah. And so you can tell what kind of relationship, you know, Eddie has with his father.
Right.
This is also a carryover from previous retcons of Riddler's origin, of which he's had many. The last two, at least, have been like, he had an abusive father. Which is like, yeah, I mean, why not? Go for that.
Sure.
But in this case, it's like, this is the first one where he was also the head of the boys' school that Eddie went to, and that, like, Tierney didn't want to, like, pull favors. Like, he's like, you have to earn the right to be in this school. It's a school of excellence, and you need to be excellent in order to be in it.
And also, your grades reflect on me.
Yeah, of course. I'm telling people you're a genius, and you're only getting 92s. But it's like, Eddie is, by the way,
You're making me a liar?
crushing his other classes. Like, he's really
There's the
acing
only
them all.
one,
But this Yellen guy is sticking it to me. You know? Like, I'm only getting 92s, and I'm great at this. And it's because at the end of the last test I got, he adds these riddles. Like an open-ended riddle at the end of the test that has nothing to do with the material.
What's in my pocket?
It's never a Bilboian fake out. It is an actual riddle that you can look up or just learn or know. But
Well, that doesn't seem very fair.
it is not, according to Eddie, and it's very fair according to Yellen, because Yellen's like, I'm challenging you. Like, I'm one of these professors.
But I'm
where-
also challenging. It's an English class.
Yeah.
It's a riddle.
It's a
Yeah,
riddle. Come
it's
on.
related.
It's literature. It works.
Yeah, no, I get it. Fuck him.
I agree.
But also, I do get it. As a former English teacher
Well,
myself,
it
Yeah.
should
I
be-
get the impulse.
should be
it
extra
should be extra
credit.
credit.
Extra credit,
Yeah.
and it's
Exactly.
not. He's like, no. And and he really wants Eddie to like learn something from these riddles, because he's like understanding, because he knows that Eddie is like a driven kid, and he's like, no, you gotta like get out of this mindset, because he also doesn't know.
You gotta think creatively.
Yeah, you got to think creatively. You have to think for yourself. You got to problem solve. He doesn't know that Headmaster Tierney like beats Eddie savagely with a stitch every time that he does badly in Yellen's class. If he did, maybe he'd lighten up a little bit. So Tierney asks Eddie the usual questions while he's beating on him, like, "Are you the son of a whore?" And then moves on. So we go to the funeral for this poor bastard who was murdered by Riddler viciously in the street, and
Oh, is it one of the other kids in the class?
No, they're not related. It's not like, oh, this is Professor Yellen's son or something. No, it's just
He was the second best
Right.
in his class.
yeah. Instead, it's just a funeral for this poor bastard. His family's there, and Bruce Wayne is there. Because as far as Batman's concerned, like, I mean, the bat on the card, he did this to get my attention.
Right. It is.
There's a
related to
dead
me.
man, a fatherless child, and a husbandless wife because of me. So Batman's upset.
Yeah.
You know, so Bruce is there, and he sees his wife.
That kid is one parent away from becoming me.
That kid's one parent away from becoming a Robin. So Bruce is there, Oates' widow's there, and she realized, like, oh my god, billionaire aristocrat Bruce Wayne is at my husband's funeral. Like, what the fuck?
That's a little weird.
It's a little weird, but she's like, my husband never mentioned that he knew you or anything. He's like, oh, no, I just read about it in the paper, and I just wanted to be here.
Just go to random funerals.
Rich people can do whatever they want, so
Yeah.
today I wanted to be
I don't
at your
need to
husband's
explain
funeral.
myself.
I don't need to explain myself. And it's a great interaction. King really nails the dialogue, because Mrs. Oates is kind of like explaining, like, I'm supposed to be at my house. There's like a party. It's not like a party, but like there's sandwiches. You know what I mean? Like I gotta make an appearance.
It's called a repast, man.
Right, but like I don't have that word on the top of my
Yeah.
mind
It's
right
one of those
now.
things. You
Oh,
know,
right, yeah.
Where
Her
the
husband
people
just died. I get that.
come over.
Like my kids are waiting me, but my husband's in the dirt. Like I can't leave. You know what I mean? Like that's, and he's like, hey, take your time, no problem. Like just talk to me. It's really sad, and it's a very nice human moment for Batman, which is also odd to see written by Tom King.
I knew as soon as you said that's odd.
He's not like, bleep bloop, I wish I were dead. I'm kidding. I understand the motivations of King's version of Batman. That said, I actually really like this Batman because he's kind of like, what the fuck? Because like, Riddler is a waste of my time.
Yeah.
I don't really want to do your stupid riddles.
Well, he didn't even ask me a riddle.
What the hell's that all about? I thought I knew you, you piece of shit.
Yeah. So no, I'm not. I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, no.
He's not.
No, he's not worth my time. He did that to get my attention. If I do that, then I'm just enabling him.
Exactly.
So we go back to Yellen's class, and we see the last question on the exam, new riddle. The section's called Riddle Me This. Classic.
Oh.
Uh-oh. We're triggering.
Created a
anger.
supervillain.
What is the English word that is most commonly spelled incorrectly?
It's the word incorrectly.
It is incorrectly.
What?
That's the answer to the riddle.
It is.
There's no way.
It is.
Really?
Well, it is in this.
Oh, I don't think that could possibly be correct.
It is not.
It's not that.
It's not hard enough to spell.
The word incorrectly spells incorrectly.
It's what is the word most commonly spelled
incorrectly. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, but
it's a
also
pun.
whatever the word that is most commonly spelled incorrectly would also be a valid answer to that question.
Right? That's true.
Yeah, but there's no actual data on that.
Eddie didn't have either right answer to that question. He wrote enough, which I kind of appreciate.
Yeah, that's enough.
Why did you write enough? You have to stop. My dad's beating me.
But Eddie can't do that because it's already messed up. So Yellen is like, hey, Eddie, are we having fun? And he's like, I think I got it right. And he says, incorrectly is the correct answer. And he's like, oh.
Eddie just gets up and punches the teacher right
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
face.
Yellen's like, yeah, no, you can spend all day acquiring knowledge and then just regurgitating it. I know everything. Here's the fact. Blah. And it's like, yeah, that's what Riddler's going to end up doing. Like, riddle me this! Stupid riddle! Do you have the answer? Oh, you don't? Blam! Batman, do you? Yes. Good. Punch. I can release. So
Someone got it.
finally, it's about recontextualization. It's about understanding the information you're being given and then using it in new and inventive ways. And he's like, when you leave here, you're going to need to like use this knowledge we're giving you. And so we see Eddie, and he's in his father's office, and he pulls open a drawer. There's a revolver in there, and he just says, incorrectly. And then he spells it, and then he says,
Woof.
And then he just bends over the desk, goes, Father, I'm ready. I got it wrong again.
Wow.
He's not even in the room.
Yikes.
But he tries to kill himself with a gun, and apparently it's not loaded, thankfully.
That's
Yes.
right. I wouldn't say it's very thankfully, given that
not for the rest
this
of the
is
world.
what's going to be happening to Riddler. But yeah, it's true. I mean, it's a poor kid. He doesn't ask for this. So we go back to the present where a henchman is being tortured by Batman. Batman's chained him up and dropped him in the harbor, which is also apparently loaded with sharks. Because
Nice.
one goes for the guy and he gets pulled up. The long and the short of this interrogation is basically the guy used to work for Riddler and he knows like everything that Riddler knows as far as his plans and his heists and his operations and stuff like that. And he's like, I'll tell you his favorite riddles. I was even good at them. He used to share them with me because I could actually, meet with him halfway and stuff. So just don't put me in the water again because it's cold and I can't think or breathe and there's sharks
Yeah,
and I'm
one almost ate me
afraid.
a second ago.
And please, okay, so I'll give you the information and you'll just let me back up, right? And Batman's like, no. And then just drops me back in the water. And it's just like, what a spectacular page. He does not kill this guy, by the way.
Right.
But you're like, what? But I get it, because Batman is pissed. I can't figure this out. Why did he do this to this poor man? This family is destroyed. What the crap? I know Riddler.
Yeah.
This is
But I'm
his
not
way.
going to give him the satisfaction of going to him with
And
it.
asking him. No. So let me go back to Arkham, where, of course, Riddler is being held. There is a inmate...
That's Riddler?
No.
Oh.
This is Burt Weston, a.k.a. Film Freak. Film Freak has stabbed himself in the throat because he and Riddler had like a little back and forth about like whether Riddler could name a particular piece of film trivia, and Riddler, of course, does, and the bet was, you know, if I'm wrong, then I'll like cut my jugular vein or something. And so
my
he does, and he
God.
dies, but that's okay because Film Freak was already dead. Bane killed him back in the 90s. But how about we have an expendable character here that dies? This way you can wonder if this is in continuity because it's Film Freak. Did Film Freak get resurrected in Rebirth or something? I don't know. But if it was Penguin, you go like, oh, well, it's out of
No,
here.
there's always a new
Right.
film freak.
That's true. Yes. All right. You know what? I like the idea, except for the fact that it's Burt Weston, and Burt Weston is always Film Freak. But never mind that.
Right. It doesn't say Film Freak on his friggin' cell.
Yeah, exactly. We need to let you know that it's Film Freak somehow, besides the fact that he's a freak for film. So the other thing, of course, is that like there's no way that Riddler could have been able to communicate with him in some way. Like it's just Riddler's 10 steps ahead of everybody. He wants to be here. He's able to manipulate whatever's going on in the cells.
Yeah, he's there because he wants to be. He's there voluntarily.
Yes. Film Freak, of course, left instructions upon his death about what he wanted to have happen to him. It's an elaborate movie-related thing. Cut me into 24 pieces, the same number of frames per second of a unit of film. Yes, Tom, I know that your mom worked for Warner Brothers. I know that you're a big film guy. But also, hey, you know what? Why not use Film Freak? I mean, yeah, all right. And it's all those things like you're going to do this, you're going to make a movie out of it, blah, blah, blah. So we're just going to put him in the furnace.
Yeah, so we're not going to do any of that.
We're not going to do any of those things. But I do.
I'm not cutting you into 24 pieces.
And then
What's wrong with you?
we're gonna
And
take
make a movie?
pictures
That's gonna
of
cost a
each-
fortune.
Yeah, we're going to take pictures of each piece and then edit them together into a 1-second film, which will premiere at Cannes, where it'll be shown first. And then, if, not when, the film wins the Palme d'Or, we are going to take all the body parts and the award to Grauman's Chinese Theater, where they're to be reassembled and then stuck in the concrete in a position that shows him holding the award. All of Hollywood will be in attendance, including his mother. Anyway, Film Freak's body is off to be burned.
It's ridiculous.
We're not going to do that.
Why would we ever do that? Like if the Penguin had a will, like, oh, what you're going to do is you're going to release all the penguins from the zoo.
Yeah.
And they're going to carry my body through the streets
Well,
going quack,
It was
quack,
his last
quack.
will. We don't have a choice.
Yeah, we're bound.
Let's start training those penguins.
Right. Or we're going to push him into the furnace.
Or just
We're really going to do.
into the ocean.
So Gordon explains to Batman, like, we can't link it directly to him, of course, because, like, he's so far away from the cell. There was no way that they could have actually communicated with each other, even though we know we do. We see a montage of, like, Batman doing Batman stuff. Like, there's a woman being attacked. Batman is in a hurry. He's in the Batmobile. He fires, like, a grapple thing that takes out the assailant. I also appreciate that the bat things look a lot like those Riddler bat balls that he uses
do.
to destroy the cave in Batman Forever.
They look exact. That's the first thing I thought of when
That
I
was
saw
me,
them.
too. I was like, ooh! Nice.
Except they don't have like a smiley face.
They
on
do
them.
not.
Yeah.
That would be lame. This is some super serial shit. But it's because Batman is like chasing down a lead. He's figuring things out. I don't know what to do about Riddler, so I guess I'll just start like digging into his past. They're trying to figure out the Oates case. Like, why did this man get killed? What relation? There's nothing. We got nothing here. We also have this guy, Adam Rothman, who apparently used to work for the Riddler. All we know is that he's scared out of his effing mind. The Batman scared the bejesus out of him. Thanks, by the way.
Right. And he didn't give anything up.
Yeah.
Sharks. Sharks.
Yeah. But he said too much. That's all we know. And it's like he gave Batman
So he thinks
the
he gave him
information he
something.
needs. So we see Batman out by like a ramshackle house, and he goes in. Then we go back to the past of of Eddie meeting with Professor Yellen. I love Batman going through the door and then Eddie entering Yellen's office. But Eddie's like, so, yeah, Professor Yellen, like, I like these riddles at the end of the test, like, they're like not fair, and like I have half a mind to like take this to like your supervisor. Like, don't make me do that. Like, it's just like not fair for you to challenge your students on things that are not part of the material. Okay, like he's at his wit's end. He's just
Right.
like, I don't know. Maybe
I didn't think I'd still be alive today.
That's
so
true.
like I'm kind of headed up to here.
Yeah, like I feel like it's unfair given the school policy, and I would like to lodge an objection before the test is given, before you give it. And like Yellen just, oh, Eddie, it can't be easy being the son of a headmaster, can it? Like, dude, you have no freaking idea. You condescending, Dead Poet Society wannabe.
Who do you think you are?
Right?
Just stop with the friggin' riddles, man.
Yeah.
Just test us on the material. What is wrong with
Right?
you?
But like this is just hitting him like in a way you can imagine. It's like, just, dude, that's not gonna help me. Like, we're not gonna be friends after this. But he's just like, I will report you if you don't make this change. And he's like, look, you're a good kid. Nobody ever tells you that, do they? Like, you're a good kid. You have a great mind. You could be amazing. And I want to encourage you. And he's like, no, just don't. I don't want any more riddles. It's not fair. And he's like, look at this. I love that you're doing this. You're like Byron, you know? You're challenging authority. That's what you're supposed to do at your age.
Oh my God.
It's great. And he
Shut up.
And Riddler it's a suicidal teen. He's just like, why do you hate me? And he's like, oh man, no, come on, buddy, I don't hate you. You know, you're gonna be so much better after all of this.
Oh man.
And he's like, all right, no one's rooting for you more than I am, which is I've only heard that from people who have hurt me. Hey, listen, you know, for my money, like, nothing's worse than stress. So just why don't you go out and get a bite to eat? Transition to we're back in Eddie's cell. He is talking to a guard who he's befriended. The guard is like, hey, thanks for the riddle that I gave my kid. She loves these riddles. Do you have a good one that's like a little bit dirty, but like not so dirty for kids? Like, she likes the fun ones, you know? Like, so he passed them the tray through the slot, and as he's passing it, Riddler hits the end of the tray, which catches the guy's fingers, and he just hits it until his fingers are severed.
Oh my God.
Yikes.
Maybe your daughter would like this one.
So Batman is at that
Ugh.
shack. And inside the shack is Dana Tierney, former headmaster of Andeater Academy.
Wow, okay. It's not
right.
Yellen.
No, Yellen ain't in this book.
Yellen's dead.
Yellen ain't in Gotham right now. Tierney tries to shoot Batman with his shotgun and
my
misses.
God.
Batman like barely faints out of the way. You know, it's just the guy's old and just, you know, it's like, Mr. Tierney, when was the last time you saw your son? And Tierney eventually relents, and he's just like, my son is an idiot. And proceeds to go into this amazing monologue about how he's like, my son was an effing genius. He knew, like, he learned everything. He was so quick to quick study. And when I recognized that in him, I hit him with everything I got. Like, I got tutors from all over. He absorbed every bit of information he got. And even in spite of that, he's an idiot. Because what did he do with all these gifts that I gave him? Like, he put on a green suit and he fucking did jokes and shit.
And kill people.
Right, but like, he
Yeah,
let me
but
down by
I'm not
wasting
that
his
concerned
genius.
about it.
I don't really care about that part.
I more care about the fact that he didn't become anything.
Right. He turned into an animal and giggled and trotted off to play, and I don't wish to play with him.
Oof. Yikes.
There's a great line earlier where Batman says something about mercy, where he's just like, I feel like that's my one weakness, is the mercy that I show you. And so don't make me regret it.
Interesting.
So,
Anyway, I'm gonna beat you savagely.
but I won't
You seem like a
kill
won't
total
kill you.
asshole, so I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Anyway, where's his mom? Because I think she might not be an asshole. You clearly are.
You're gone. I mean, like, the house is in shambles. He's in his
Yeah.
underwear,
Yeah.
shooting intruders. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, I think he's armed to the teeth because one day my son will come calling for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we see young Eddie talking to his father, and he goes to his father. He's like, Father! And he's like, please, Edward, like, don't think you're like one of these children. Like, don't raise your voice in this room. And he's just like, yeah, but someone set a fire in this other room. And he's just like, oh, so why didn't you lead with that, you fucking idiot? So he runs off, and Eddie uses his father's keys to access the rubric for
Oh, Yellen's test.
Yellen's tests.
Okay.
Oh my
Checks it out
God.
and finds the next riddle.
Okay.
What
All right.
disappears when you say its name?
Silence.
Got it. So Eddie is being moved, and they are attempting to straitjacket him when Edward starts talking to all the guards around him and starts telling them their names and their children and how once he's out of here, he's going to pay them a visit, and he's going to murder their children, he's going to murder their wives, and
Didn't Joker do this too?
Riddler did this in The War of Jokes and Riddles.
That's what it was. Thank you.
Written by Tom King. So,
So he's like, I could do it. I could rip myself off.
yeah. Well, this is another universe, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. This Riddler also.
I really
did
like that scene. I'm gonna do that scene again.
Yeah. And in a different way. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. It is a good scene, and it's great here too. So one of the guards just decides, I gotta kill Riddler. He's just gonna kill my kids. Like, he's not gonna stop.
Right.
So he fires. Riddler knew he was gonna try and do that. He moves out of the way, ends up shooting the other guard. The guards try to shoot the Riddler. Riddler just sachets out of the way of the bullets, and they kill each other.
Oh, if only he were dancing. If there were like a song to this.
I know, yeah.
Some of them just shoot other guards because they're trying to shoot him, and they're like, "You can't do that. You have to stop." So
Yeah.
it's like it's just
pandemonium.
yeah.
But everyone's dead but Gordon, and Riddler's just like, all right, do you think you could call Batman again, please? I'd really appreciate a conversation.
I guess I can.
Yeah, Gordon's, Jesus Christ. Because then it's just a disaster. So Batman goes to a depressed neighborhood within Gotham City and talks to this guy.
Which one?
Right, exactly. It doesn't matter. But it's this apartment complex where there's this guy, and we never see the guy, but this guy was a neighbor of an older woman who was nice to him, but was also a sex worker. And had been a sex worker and then got kind of aged out of the business, but occasionally still saw clients because some folk have a kink and so forth. But she would occasionally help him out, like she'd feed his cat while he was out on business and stuff. And then one day recently, like the other day, someone came to her apartment, like literally yesterday, and they were asking her questions and repeatedly just badgering her about these questions. Riddler went to his mother's house
Okay.
and started demanding information because Riddler finally decided, I guess I'll figure out who my mom was. And then goes and asks her questions. And the old woman is so emotionally frazzled by the badgering that she can't answer these questions. And so she's just choking on her own words.
Yes, she's just emotional.
Yeah, until eventually he gives her a minute to speak. And she says, okay, all right, give me a second to explain. And then he chokes her to death.
Oh my God.
And it's interesting because also, like, the neighbor is like, I don't really know her. She kind of is weird, blah, blah, blah. And eventually, as he's talking about her and her murder to Batman, he's like, by the way, if you find out who did it, bring him to me. Because I'd also like to say a few things to him. Like, this guy's, like, weirdly protective of her. And it was interesting. We never see that character, and he doesn't ever do anything. But
Yeah,
Gordon...
he's like, but she didn't deserve that. That's
No,
messed
yeah,
up.
you know what? Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Fuck that guy. So Batman is called by Gordon via the signal, brings that information to Gordon, more or less.
Hey, I really need your help.
Yeah. Hey, Batman. Oh, man.
The Riddler, he's pulling some stuff, and I'm kind of losing control of the situation.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. He's like, listen, he's in
I'm
the...
already 3 steps ahead.
Literally, Batman is there, and he's like, what's up? And Gordon's like, everyone's scared to do anything. I had 5 guards quit this morning. He's in the yard, and he's waiting for you. Please resolve this.
And all he said is he wants to see Batman. He didn't
That's
give him
it.
anything.
No other information. So we go to the yard of the boys' school, where Yellen is shooting hoops. So he's like, hey, Brian said you wanted to see me. Is there a problem? And he's like, do you like basketball, Edward? I never see you play. And he's like, I don't like games. I have to study.
Why are you doing this to me?
Right, yeah. And
Come on, let's shoot some hoops. Come on.
yeah.
I bet you're a baller.
Yeah.
I bet you got some boobs.
I bet no one's ever challenged you like this before. Like, oh God. So he's just like, yeah, what are you want to do? Why are you doing all this studying? He's like, to get a good job, have a good life. He's like, yeah, but when you're done with all of that, what will you want? You'll want to be the age you are now. Like, you'll want to be young. But you won't be able to. And this is the time.
You'll have pissed it away.
Yeah, just studying and ruining your youth, filling your head with information. You're going to want to play, which, of course, what Riddler ends up doing because he's the Riddler. Yellen tosses the ball to Riddler.
So he's telling him to stop and smell the roses.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which, goes right over Eddie's head.
Yeah.
He's not going to.
No.
Yeah, no.
I love that he tosses the ball to Eddie and it just Darius past him. And so then Yellen's like, all right, well, I graded your tests. And he crouches over to like get his paper. And he's like, so I graded your test this morning. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that you want to know how you did. Well, here's the problem. I thought at the last second, before I gave you your tests, that I would change the riddle to something else, something that I read recently. And you wrote the answer to the riddle that I had already prepared. First you eat me, and then you get eaten. What am I? And he's like, oh, really? He's like, but then you wrote silence. Like, you didn't even read the question. You just answered it. So, if you're going to cheat, man, you got to at least cheat well. You can't tell my father. He's like, you know, Eddie, actually, like, this is probably going to be the best thing for you. Is like me bringing you before like an academic
God.
like, oh my God, this guy.
Oh my God, dude.
He's like, maybe this will show you to stop being so concerned with being smart and lighten up. And then Eddie kicks him in the back of the head. And he's, Professor Allen, oh no, I'm so sorry, you okay? Here, let me help you. And he grabs him by the shoulders and bashes his head into the pavement repeatedly.
Oh my God.
You see, you can't tell my father because he doesn't like to play games like we do. He doesn't know how to have fun. He thinks you just have to win everything. He doesn't know how joyful it can be to just let go.
As he's bashing his head.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Professor, ask me that riddle again. That riddle I missed. Now that you mentioned it, I think it might actually be like a blast to solve. Yeah, what was it? First you eat me, then you get eaten. What am I? And we do this beautiful transition from the courtyard where the Riddler was born to the courtyard where Batman's meeting the Riddler, and Batman just says, a fishhook. Which is, you know, the answer to the riddle.
Nice. Also, I just realized that young Edward is Ethan Hawke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's Ethan Hawke. Yeah, big
Yeah.
time.
And the Yellen,
Yeah.
he's the guy from Billy Madison.
Oh, is he? That guy?
Yeah, the other guy. And
Yeah.
also from
West Wing and
West
stuff
Wing.
like that.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Oh my God, Riddler's there.
Yeah.
And he's got a basketball.
No, he wanted to meet Batman. Like, he
Yeah.
told Gordon, tell Batman to meet me at the basketball court.
So Riddler's like, all right, I'm ready to tell you my backstory.
No.
Okay.
So Batman figured it out.
Yeah, I guess he already knows.
I
He
don't
knows
think
about Yellen?
He doesn't know about Yellen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Who cares? Like, I don't care about what you did 30 years ago.
Right.
You jerk. So they're in the yard. They're going back and forth. Riddler's like tossing the ball and like, you know, trying to make baskets, failing miserably at it.
Oh, he sucks
Yeah.
at it.
He sucks
Yeah,
at
of
it.
course.
Yeah, he never played.
Yeah, he's the Riddler.
And, you know, Batman's like, you killed your mother. And Riddler's like, I killed a lot of people. I'm not a very nice person. I didn't accidentally get my parents killed while getting afraid of a sword fighting movie and take them through the wrong back alley. And Batman goes, do you want me to bedazzle? Should I clap? Love should I clap? Like, fuck you, kid. He's like, I knew who you were. Do you know who I am? And he's like, yeah, I do. You're an idiot. And he's like, no, actually, I'm not. I'm not an idiot. I'm actually like the smartest person on earth. Like, between all this crap, like, look, the long and the short of their conversation is basically, I was playing a game as the Riddler. I was doing the whole riddle thing and all that. But that's not who I am. I am a psychopath. I am the smartest psychopath. And I'm done playing. I'm out.
So now I'm just going to be a psychopath.
Yeah, this is what I do now.
Does he see Batman as like his father? Because
No.
Batman beats
Well,
the shit out of him?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. But he reveals to Batman, like, yeah, I know who you were a long time ago. And like, I've been to your house. I've been in your house. Like, I know that
jeez.
there's that really lame safe you have with the very minimal security. We have some spending cash, like a few $100,000. I once took $1 just to see if you would notice. But then there's the other safe, the one with much harder security, the one with the scuffed pearl in it, which I have to assume was your mom's. And then of course, I have fond memories of being in your house and like watching you sleep, like like Dick when he was a kid, and Jason and Stephanie and of course little Damien and all that.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
And Batman's like, do you want me to hit you? And he's like, no, I don't like it when you hit me. And in fact, here's the deal. I'm going to kill someone randomly if you do it. If you ever lay a hand on me ever again, I'll kill someone. Never knowing that it was you who killed them, actually, for not listening to me. And he's, oh, you want me to kill you? And he's like, you could beat me if you do that. In fact, that's the only way that you could beat me, but you won't. And so I'm going to walk away. I'm going to leave. And you're going to let me. Because if you don't, random people are going to die. And you know I don't even need to stay here. Like, clearly, you know, I have the run of the asylum.
Right.
So Batman grabs him. Have you considered that you're the one who should be begging? And then drops him and he goes, there, I did it. I knew you were going to do that when I arranged for this conversation to happen. That's why Oates is dead.
I preemptively killed him knowing
That you were going to touch me because
Yeah.
I needed you to understand not only how serious I am, but how far ahead of this game I am.
Right. So how many additional people have you killed for the future times I'm
Right.
going to?
For like when like Nightwing punches
Oh,
you.
really? So that was for Oates? How about this?
Yeah.
How about
one
this?
and this one.
Right.
He's like, yep, that was another one you haven't
Was it-
found.
no,
this
no,
one you
those-
haven't found.
That was the first one, and I'm so smart that I know you're not going to do it again. So I know you're never going to hit me again.
Oh, uh-huh. Okay.
Batman's like, you are so wrong.
Right? You know, people can be riddles too. I tried to figure it out, and I talked to my mom. Like, I found her, I met her, I talked to her, and I wanted to ask her why I am this way. And, you know, I'm not simple like you. Crime killed my parents, so that I'm going to punch crime in the face. I'm more complex, and I was about to be solved, and so she opened her mouth, and before she could answer, I strangled her. And I don't want the answer. I'm tired of being right. I'm tired of puzzles and challenges and riddles. You know, it's just you and me over and over again. You do the whole thing. I say, if you're a riddle, you solve it, you punch me in the face. But I'm done with that. I don't want to lose anymore. I don't want to care about that. Like, I'm smarter and better than that, so I'm going to just live my life and you live yours and just let bygones be bygones. And he tosses the ball and then Batman throws a batarang into it. And he's like, you killed a man and a child doesn't have a father and a wife doesn't have a husband because you're an asshole? Like, because of this stupid message? So then he leaves. And Batman lets him. Goodbye, Bruce. I'll see you around.
Wow.
Okay.
So,
This is kind of not a Riddler story.
I mean, no. I mean, it is in as much as, like, it is technically about Riddler, but it's about how Riddler stops being the Riddler character.
Right. Yeah.
So, we see that the effect over a period of months of the Riddler's stranglehold on Gotham. Like, people are talking where they're like, hey, did you hear Batman won't even attack Riddler anymore? Like, Batman's shaken, that's amazing. And Black Mask tried to negotiate with Riddler. What an idiot. Like, why would he do that? Like, you just do what the Riddler says, okay? We see his father's just drinking himself to death in his in his weird shack. You know, people just being killed by Riddler.
It's interesting that everything in this bizarre timeline future has a green tint to it.
Yeah. Well, you know,
If Riddler's just killing people anyway, then why doesn't Batman
to stop him?
punch him? Because it's like, well, you're already killing people. It's not like it's going to get worse.
No, you're killing people because you're doing other things, like you're making deals with, like, you know, black markets and gangsters and stuff.
Oh, it's like
if I
underground
attack you, you'll
war.
kill a random person.
Oh, I see.
You'll kill someone who doesn't really
Like,
have
these
it
are like
coming.
gang
Yeah.
killings. It's like they have it coming, kind of.
Exactly.
So it's not.
Well,
I'm
no
not
one's
gonna
like.
worry about it.
They're just like, well, we know what the rules are with Riddler. And it's like,
Yeah.
don't touch him. Let him do what he wants.
Right.
Bruce goes to visit the widow again. It's just like, I just want you to know why your husband's dead. She's like, oh, what? And he's like, Batman played a game with the Riddler and he didn't understand the rules. Like, Batman got your husband killed. It's his fault. And she's like, that's really fucking stupid.
Wait, are you Batman?
It's like this doesn't make any sense.
Like,
also, why would you know that?
Right. Well, Batman, you know, things come my way.
Yeah.
Also, I look like Batman. But,
I'm close friends with Batman.
Yeah.
He's my bodyguard.
but she's just like, but
okay, Iron Man.
she explains, you know, that her daughter and how she, like, I have trouble getting her to go to practice because she can't decide if she likes it or not. She has fun, but she's stressed out about it. And I tell her not to worry. It's only a game. And here's what she says. Mom, I'm not stupid. It's a game when you watch it, but when I have to play it, then it's just me. Which I think is like kind of the whole through line of everything.
Right.
This is what he was doing. Like, Riddler realizes this when he realizes he doesn't want to be Riddler anymore. It's what gets him into being the Riddler in the first place. It's just, yeah, it's a good line.
And that's also like what he was going through with Yellen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, you say it's a game, but it's not. It has serious consequences for my life.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's fun for you to watch, but it's not fun for me to play. So we see Riddler's in his penthouse, and he's listening in because apparently he's been listening in on Gordon and Batman talking the entire book, and for probably years. And so there's this conversation that you're hearing between Gordon and Batman while Riddler's listening in on it. And it's like Gordon just being like, I tried to put officers outside of his hotel, and they just won't do it. Like, they won't go. I went there myself and parked across the street, and then I got a call from Barbara the next day saying someone poisoned her cats. So can't do that. I won't tell her. She'll probably figure it out anyway. I called the governor. The governor told me his son's been missing for a week.
Oh, wow.
Like, Riddler's like, this is going to be the time when Gordon's going to get fed up and call the governor, so I need to fuck with the governor, too.
Yeah.
The head of the United Bank of Gotham just put out a memo, don't know if you heard about it, says Edward Nygma walks into a branch, he can have whatever he wants, no resistance, and don't report the theft.
Oh, my God.
Like, it's just, he's completely taken over.
I mean, we have to report the theft because it's insurance.
Yeah. I'm hearing about the crazies. All those guys used to laugh at the Riddler. Now they're in awe. Maxie Zeus, who's a character we don't really talk about, but like he thinks he's a god.
Yeah.
Like, he says he's not a god anymore, and then he carved a question mark into his forehead.
Jesus Christ.
Riddler's in the bathroom. He's getting dressed. He's like gonna go out.
Yeah. He's going to Nygma up.
I'm gonna Nygma up
with
yeah,
no
exactly.
riddles.
Right.
'Cause I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. And Batman goes, Gordon, he's hearing all of this right now. There's a little broadcasting device in the gargoyle here. It helps him keep track of what we're planning. It's very smart. That's how he wins. He's a very smart guy. He's smart enough to know that I have a weakness for mercy. It's a weakness he's been exploiting for the last few months. And it took me some time to see that you can get lost in your own assumptions. See, I was smart. I assumed I knew who he was. He tells a riddle, I solve it, case closed. I assumed he couldn't question himself, that he couldn't change, that he would never let go. That was my mistake, thinking that I knew him. He's in the room right now, listening to us. And he's making the same smart mistake that I did. Like, he thinks that we didn't record this ahead of time. Hey, Edward, riddle me this. Though you meet me but once, you know me forever after. What am I? Batman's behind him. 4 dark panels.
That's awesome.
He's like, that's it. Like, Batman kills the Riddler, and I'm like, what?
Well, you don't see him kill the Riddler.
You don't need to, because
That's the riddle.
You don't see him kill the Riddler in...
Oates gets the same 4 black panels.
Yeah.
He's killed.
He's killed, that's right. You don't see it happen. And does Batman kill the Riddler in The Killing Joke?
No, the Joker.
The Joker and does Batman kill the Joker in The Killing Joke?
Nope.
Some people
Sorry,
say...
Grant.
Some people say...
I know. No, Grant. He didn't.
I don't know.
No. Sorry. Alan Moore says it didn't happen.
Well, yeah.
Maybe
that's true.
this is Gordon dressed as Batman.
I mean, I'm okay with it being in this universe where he's just like, it's interesting when you read it. You're going through, like, it's very stressful and it's very frustrating. Like, to have someone who is as impossibly smart as Riddler's supposed to be. And what if he just decides not to be that anymore? Like, what if he's like, what if I just threw away the stupid puzzles and just decided to be a psychopath?
Right. Like the smartest man in the world, basically,
Yeah.
or among them.
Like, what would-
Always able to basically predict the future.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, if he's a precog,
For
what
the
the
most
hell are
part.
we going to do about this? And it's
Yeah.
like, you have to kill him. There's nothing else you can do.
You have to do something unexpected.
Right.
And once you do, he'll adapt to that too.
Yes.
So, like, it
has to
only
be the
worked
last
once.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, for me, it's like, well, I mean, Phantom Zone.
No, he'll get out.
Phantom Zone.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah, no, he
Well,
manipulates
he
Zod
would
or
get out of the
something.
Phantom Zone.
Yeah, exactly.
This is when Batman like snapped his neck, but only enough to paralyze him.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
I mean, yeah.
In fact, I can stop you permanently
Right.
without killing you.
Yeah. I
That
also
would've been great.
I would have loved that. I also don't mind the convention. You know, obviously, this book is choked with 9-panel grids.
Yes.
And is a homage to Moore, not just because it's a Killing Joke ripoff, but
Right.
also because, you know, he's inspired by the concept of like deconstructing this character and making them
Yeah.
more modern. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's dark. It's
Very dark.
super dark.
Batman kills the
incredibly
Riddler
dark.
at the end. That-
And
It doesn't get much darker.
Batman murders the Riddler.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is not in continuity.
No, definitely not. The
Or-
answer to the riddle, by the way, at the end is
death.
death. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
he definitely kills him.
That's why. It's
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I think this book is operating under the Morrisonian interpretation that Batman kills the Joker. Because of course, like,
yeah.
what is the Killing Joke?
Right.
Who's being killed? No one dies in
Right.
the Killing Joke. Otherwise, you know,
Right.
Barbara survives, Gordon survives, Batman survives,
Right.
and Joker. So
But,
yeah,
But the joke kills.
yes,
The joke that Batman tells.
No, Joker
that
tells.
Joker tells.
Yeah, the joke that Joker tells
Yeah.
Batman is what causes Batman to kill the Joker. That's Morrison's interpretation.
Right.
At least.
No, it kills. It kills the room. That joke killed.
Yeah, it killed. And literally, he killed him.
Or that, yeah.
Because it makes Batman realize, oh, there's no way of stopping you.
I mean, it is suspect that the book is called The Killing Joke.
Oh, I know. Yeah, like, what does that
no
mean?
one dies.
Except for his wife.
I guess.
But, unless you read Three Jokers. In The Killing Joke, pre-Joker is explaining to his wife that he told a joke and he screwed up the punchline. We have to assume that the joke he tells Batman at the end is that joke.
Yeah.
And it's why Joker is so assured and so well-spoken throughout the book. He's able to sing a song. But then in the last few pages when he tells Batman the joke, he's stuttering and he's tripping over his words. Like he's reverted back. There's actually a panel that I may have talked about many times that has been ruined by recoloring because Boland also redraws it. Don't do that. Where Batman says, I could rehabilitate you. You don't have to be alone anymore. And Joker says, no, it's too late for that. And he's got this like hand over his face, and he looks like he did. He's all jokered out, but like he has this frown, and he has this line, no, I'm sorry, it's too late for that. And it's like, that's the one moment of like that guy who's back. And like that moment kind of triggers him into the joke, and it reverts him back into being that guy. And he's like, I'm back in the nightclub and I'm telling the joke. I really love that sequence. I also love Joker cogently rejecting Batman's offer. Of course, him telling the joke about two lunatics in the same asylum is like, I will not be accepting your assistance, man dressed as a bat, for how best to handle my mental illness.
Right.
That's also funny. And it's insane that you would offer that and think that that's a fair thing to suggest.
Right.
And now I'll illustrate that with this joke I'll tell. And it's like, does that make Batman go, well, all right then, I'll just joke you up? Or is it Batman being like, yeah, you know what, you're right, we're both a couple of nutcases. Ha ha ha.
Right.
And that's the end of the book.
I mean,
That's why it's not supposed to be in continuity.
Right. It definitely could drive him to kill him because he's like, I'm giving you this chance.
Right, you
And it's
rejected
like,
it.
But
That's
you
it.
rejected it. There was no other option
Yes.
because of all the things you've done.
Yeah,
Like, you've taken it too far.
Well, and that's also, it's punctuated by that great moment where Gordon is like, you have to bring him in by the book.
Right.
Like, you have to show him our way works.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, Gordon, he's dressed like a
Gordon.
bat.
What way?
Doesn't
What
work.
our way? That's your way.
Yeah, no.
You're relying on me to reinforce your way when I am not your way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
I
there's
have
no
right
way
outside
it's
the
gonna
law,
work.
man.
Yeah. Maybe we should do
I'm sorry,
the
did
killing
you read
joke.
did you read him his rights when you punched him in the face a lot, Batman?
Yeah. Well, I don't have to. I'm not a cop.
I didn't arrest him.
Yeah, I didn't arrest him.
I just tied him up for
I
other people to
subdued
arrest.
him.
Yeah.
That was a citizen's arrest. Very different.
Then you'll obviously come forward and tell us who you are as the citizen who detained him.
Oh,
yeah, and
no.
you'll also testify, because you were a witness in this crime.
Oh, no.
I will not be doing that either.
No, I won't be doing that. You can try to put him away with whatever else.
Yeah, well, all the other evidence.
All the
that
other
you have.
evidence that's unrelated and untouched by Batman.
That may explain why he's so frequently out.
Yeah. Yes. It's like, well, there's nothing we can present in court that isn't connected to Batman in some way.
So,
And
again...
so unless Batman is going to testify,
Right, which he
I
will
guess
not.
he walks.
Yeah.
Which is one very practical problem with Batman.
It is.
I think it's addressed in some books.
It's addressed in Daredevil books.
Oh, there you go.
Because, Matt's a lawyer,
Right.
and his identity is in and out of the closet all the time, so you never know. There's maybe we'll talk about that one day, those moments. But
I think the reason I like this is because it's a cogent story.
Yep.
And it's about someone who is irredeemable.
Yeah. Yeah, Riddler is a piece of shit. Now, that being said, when he's a kid, he didn't ask for any of this, but by the time we meet him, he's already broken.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like, oh, if Yellen is nice to Enigma, he'll figure it out. Like, no, man. I mean, this book is also, I don't think, cautioning against freewheeling teaching styles. It's just
No.
it's just funny to make fun of Yellen for being so off the mark when it came to understanding this kid with your one-size-fits-all.
I mean, there is a cautionary
attitude.
tale there of maybe thinking a little bit about what someone else is going through.
Yeah, the
when you
consequences of
try
it,
to
yeah.
impress a lesson upon them.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
But I also like this idea that Yellen's just like, man, you don't understand. I'm going to be your favorite teacher
Yeah,
when you
one
grow
day
up.
you're going to look back and, oh, you beat my brains into the pavement. Never mind. Because it wasn't about me. And
Yeah.
that's my problem as a teacher, is that I'm making it about me.
Yeah.
Even though I'm no. It's about you and your journey, and my role in this is to help you get to this. Oh, I'm dead.
Weird.
Actually,
I thought
no.
I was the main character.
Nope, it's a book with me on the cover yelling.
And at the end, Batman's like,
No, I get it. Like,
he's snapped.
That's
he's
Batman.
no longer the Riddler.
yeah, right. And
Now he's Edward Tierney, psychopathic killer.
right, and I love the idea that Batman's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, you can change, so can I. I can kill Riddlers.
Right.
Like,
I don't have to kill everybody.
No, I'm not a.
It's not like if I kill one person,
I'll kill every person. That would be nuts.
So I'll just make an exception for this one guy.
Yeah, and no one will fault me.
And not only that, he's gonna die,
Right.
and the only person that's gonna know about it is Gordon. And guess who has my back?
Big time. Well, and not only that, there's also it's interesting to think about that. For one thing, I have two stops to make. One is Riddler's, and the other is Joker's. If I'm going to kill Riddler, I'm going to Joker's house.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, and you know that Batman wins at the end because of the look on Riddler's face.
Yeah, he's like,
because that's the one thing Riddler did not count on.
yeah.
And it's like, because otherwise you think, oh yeah, no, that's why Joker has Batman who laughs making fear toxin or whatever in his bloodstream. Like, Joker wants Batman to kill him.
Yeah.
At least in some interpretations. Riddler wants Batman to leave him alone, or he thinks he does.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, yeah, the interpretation of like Batman being a stand-in for his father, it's like, but his father is alive and he leaves him alone. Is he afraid of him? But the beatings that he receives from Batman parallel the beatings he receives from his father because he thinks he doesn't deserve either of them.
Right.
He's right about, by the way, he doesn't deserve the beatings of his father.
that's
But like,
correct.
he's like, these come from nowhere.
Well, he presumably also pulled a similar move on his father that he did on Batman.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, I kill people now.
Right.
You're going to stop doing this.
Right.
And that probably is exactly what happened.
Yeah, and it broke
right?
him, and he's just like alone in his house.
Yeah.
That's a fair
And at a certain
assessment.
point, he got there with Batman where he's like, that's enough.
Yeah, I reached my limit.
I'm going to make it so much worse for you.
Yeah.
You have to stop.
And it's not such a direct correlation where, like, in the beginning where he's like, I failed, father, hit me now,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
He's not smiling when he looks in the mirror.
No.
It's not like, oh, it's finally here.
No.
Here's my punishment
That's
that I
right.
deserve.
He doesn't
no,
want it.
because
He
that-
just expects
he's scared.
it.
Yeah, when Batman's talking to him in the courtyard and he's like, you want me to kill you, that's like a misunderstanding of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But eventually Batman gets the message, which is kill the Riddler. Which again, like, I'm
Yeah.
like, I fundamentally disagree with that interpretation of Batman because I also think that Batman would find a way.
Yeah.
But he's not James Kirk. You know, it's not like he's gonna like whip up a piece of gumption and figure it
Well,
out.
I mean, look, you've made the Riddler an impossible
And that's the
person.
problem. You've
Like, there-
written yourself into a corner.
Yeah.
There's nothing, unless he's in a special chamber on the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
just under glass.
Right. Because, like, well, he can foresee every possible
Outcome.
and he can prepare for everything, and
Yeah.
he has infinite resources. And it's like, okay, well, but that's not real, though.
That's not real,
No
but-
person in reality would have that. So
Yeah.
it's like, I can't tether Batman's to a reality where you don't kill people, you know,
Yeah.
where you always find another way. It's like, well, maybe you don't if you're faced with a supernatural genius
Yeah.
who's impossibly, you know, who has a crystal ball, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, how, then it becomes like a philosophical question. Like, how do you defeat someone who knows everything you're going to do?
Yeah.
Like-
Do you have free will?
You know,
Yeah.
Batman's like,
Right?
yeah, the
Yeah.
only decision that makes any sense that I have any control over is whether I'm going to kill you or not.
Right.
There would have been a great other ending to this had the mom of the daughter
Oh, killed him.
killed him by accident.
Ooh. Like he didn't see it coming.
Exactly. Like, she's still going to soccer practice after this.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I keep driving her, but I got distracted and I looked down and the car swerved.
Yep.
And Riddler was just walking across the street.
Yep. Wallowing in his own crapulence.
just being
Yeah.
like, I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
Like, no
Yeah.
one can do anything. And then a car just fucking
Yeah.
runs him
yeah,
over.
she's like,
Right, you didn't
I didn't
predict
get
that.
Yeah, I didn't get that memo. You didn't see that coming.
Yeah. You can't predict everything.
No.
Also,
The Riddler
she could have
can.
just shot him, been like, this is for my husband.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, why do we
No,
keep
I'm
going back to
untouchable.
these people?
You can't stop me. You can't stop bullets either.
Exactly.
Blam.
Yeah. No, I I like the idea of like the mother being a lesson for Batman. You know, where she's like, well, but like, what difference does it make? My husband's still dead.
Yeah.
And it's like that's too real. Don't hurt Batman by being like, who cares if Batman beat Man-Bat? You know, those poor people are still dead. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, well, that's not fun.
You didn't actually fix anything.
Oh, you defeated the Mad Hatter. Congratulations.
Chief Brody,
Right.
I learned that you knew about this shark.
But you let people go swimming anyway.
But my son is dead.
If you're gonna make Batman kill someone, it's not a terrible way.
No.
It's like, well, I created one of the most vexing scenarios he's faced because there is probably no one smarter than the Riddler that he's dealt with.
Yep.
And the Riddler has decided to become effective.
So what else is there?
Well, this was always a risk with the Riddler, that
Yep.
he would take off his training wheels and just...
finally just be a full-blown psycho,
Yeah.
so I guess I have to murder him
And
now.
he's smarter than me, I guess.
Right.
So...
And that's the thing, is that Batman's like you said, this will only work once.
Yeah.
I'm going to trick him into thinking that, you know, we're having this conversation live so that he's unaware that I'm in his house.
Yep.
Like he's done to me.
He's done to me, you creep. Yeah.
I think that's maybe the moment where it's like, oh, you're in my house?
Oh, yeah.
You've seen my children.
Right, yeah. No, when he first mentions it,
Yeah.
Batman says lies. And he's like, no. No. It's just, that's how effective I am. Batman's like, I have misread this situation.
Yeah, I thought you were a silly...
Goofy D-list
person.
Batman.
Yeah,
And,
I thought you had a set of rules to follow.
Like
And I thought
did.
I knew those.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
And Riddler's like, but I do know you do, and you follow them. And he's like, well, then I just won't.
Yeah.
Well, wait, that's an option? It's like, was it before you
You
jackass?
proved to me conclusively that you're smarter than me and that you're the most dangerous man on earth.
Yeah!
I can't have that.
You
But
backed
I-
me into a corner.
But I am going to kill the Joker, though. Like, if I kill you, it's like really hypocritical.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Joker doesn't even exist in this universe.
Well,
Who
at that
knows?
point, you know, no, he's definitely there because he mentions how he
that's right.
instigated Killing Joke.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna if I'm gonna end the Joker forever, I'm just gonna have Clark go do it.
The premise of this book is that Riddler is more dangerous than the Joker.
Yes.
Like, even the Killing Joke, well, that was actually me.
Yeah.
The Joker couldn't
Yeah.
even done that. So it's like, oh, I guess if I take out the Riddler, maybe I don't even have to worry about the Joker.
Yeah. How many good ideas of Jokers are actually enigmas?
If this is saying that Killing Joke happened,
Yeah.
the Joker's already dead.
Right.
That's
Oh my
true.
God.
Oh, shit.
Oh no. If they're going by that interpretation.
King subscribes to that
Yes.
interpretation, which I don't know if you asked
And
him.
well, when I was promoting this book with King, I did not ask. So, oops.
Missed opportunity.
I've never asked him what he thinks is the ending of the Killing Joke.
Well, you're going to have to find out next time you talk to him.
How great would it be if it's like, at the end of every Bad Day or Killing Joke-ish book,
He kills
Batman kills somebody.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. There's no way. Yeah, the Catwoman one was very sad.
Oh, yeah?
I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
She's like, I can't change who I am. I'm always going to be like, robbing jewelry stores and stuff.
Well,
All right, you give me no choice.
if you want a copy, it's in the comments down below. You should definitely check it out. If not, buy it. I really enjoyed it, and it's a fun interpretation. Yeah, start a book club and get some people talking about it because it actually makes it more interesting and fun to talk about it with other
It
people.
promotes really good conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you hate it? Great. Meet someone who didn't and then talk about it and debate whether or not the ending has value. I will say that, again, Mitch, you killed it. The art is amazing.
So to
the
speak.
depictions of everything. There were moments apparently in the script that were not 9-panel grids that Mitch changed into 9-panel grids.
It's like, now we're going to do another.
Now we're doing another one. And I'm like, good for you, man. Like, that's awesome. I love that, like, Mitch, like, took the reins on this one. And, another Batman book by King that I actually like.
Because he acts totally different.
Yeah. They're all going to be winners.
Yeah. Oh, you got this one?
Yeah, it's signed by both of them. See you next week with another episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Keep reading. Yeah. Right? I was like, these guys are going to like this one.
Solid.
Yeah, and the great thing is that it's short,
Yeah. But contained.
but
complete.
it really works
Like Killing Joke.
with what it does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's great is also...
Is it as iconic as Killing Joke?
No. It's forgotten. Nobody remembers it. Nobody's talking about it.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Because it's not in continuity.
Well,
neither was Killing Joke,
or
I
was
get
it?
that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But that
kinda
was seminal.
Right, but they also can't go, yeah, let's put it in continuity. Batman just punched Riddler really, really hard. And he's still a guy.
And sent him to jail just like he always does.
And Riddler went, oh, I learned my lesson.
I guess we'll go back to being
a
goofy Riddler. Like, what? No.
No. I also really appreciate that they did this initiative because, like, they gave us so many episodes of back issues.
Yeah, that's true.
One bad day Clayface, one bad day Penguin, one bad day Mr. Freeze, one bad day Ra's al Ghul.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
I was like,
Ra's al Ghul did not have one bad day.
no.
I do not believe.
He's like 1,000 years old. He's had plenty of bad days.
Yeah, I mean, Riddler definitely didn't either.
No, well, the bad day I'm assuming is when he murdered.
Yeah, but it was no worse than any of his other days.
It's true, yeah.
One bad day, I guess the little pop gangster, it was like Mr. Big? That's not right.
No, Scarface.
Scarface.
One bad day should have happened.
Yeah,
that's one
that's
where
a
I'm
good
like,
one.
give me a definitive Scarface story.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Dan Waters did write a really great Scarface story.
Yeah?
I'm very happy with it.
Okay.
It's a new one. It just came out, just finished. And I was like, okay. Tiffany was like,
She doesn't care for Scarface.
this is really stupid. And he is. You can only do that once. You gotta. I implore you, Matt Reeves. I know that the Batman 2 script is done. Please let the villain be Scarface. I really want that moment where, like, oh no, there's a new terror in Gotham, and like there's organized crime. He's like crushing it. It's amazing. And then we go and meet him, and he's like, hello. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Am I being pranked?
Right? Is there a camera
Where's the
somewhere?
camera?
Is Riddler still here?
I was like, please just make Scarface. Like, would you like to play a game? Like, please, Jigsaw up Scarface.
Oh my God. That would be an awesome reveal.
Yeah, right?
In the movie.
Yeah.
Like halfway through.
Just like,
What?
it's like,
Yeah, this is Gotham City,
this
man.
Gotham City, it could be anything. There's a woman who has a growth disease. So she dresses like a little girl. That's her superpower. Baby doll was invented for the cartoon, but eventually she showed up in the comics.
Yeah, naturally.